Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Bennington Made. I'm your host, Matt Harrington with the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce, and with me as always is Cat TV. We're here at the world famous Apple Barn to talk to Leah and her team about all the great products they make here, including their world famous cider apple donuts and the cheeses and the ciders and the pies and everything that you could ever want for this fall right here in Bennington, Vermont. Let's go talk to Leah and her team and see just how they make them right here. Thank you, Leah, for hosting us here today, and you're going to give us a little tour of what all the things that are made right here on the premise, right here at the Apple Barn in Bennington, Vermont. So why don't you take us on a tour? All right, so these are the world famous Apple Barn donuts. And give us a little bit of a background. You were telling me earlier that you went to an institute to even perfect some of these in the last couple of years. And
Yep. I've been here for over 24 years. And when I first took over the market, about 15 years ago, I was, of course, faced with this wonderful challenge: is how can I expand these apple cider donuts? So I called the Belshore Company, which is the manufacturers of these donut robots, and they suggested I would go out to baking school out in Kansas. So I ventured out during the winter times when I'm off, and I learned how to make these wonderful, famous mini ciders as well. These are our mini cider. Please, Mike, have a sample. They're absolutely delicious. And the equivalence is two of these minis are equivalent to one of these large apple cider donuts. They work really well with the young kids and, of course, calorie counter conscious women.
so is there anything special within the actual dough? I mean, is it kind of a secret, or?
It's a secret that I shall not share.
And we won't ask. Then obviously
We're very, very fortunate. We make the largest apple cider donuts that have been known in the East Coast right now. Everybody who has come through has always commented not only about the taste of our apple cider donuts, but the size. I was pretty fortunate. If you notice how this hopper, this is called a hopper, how it was placed up onto the machine, it doesn't actually line up. It's because somehow, some way, I figured out a way to get this larger hopper that was used on the older machines on the new machine, which is creating the larger donut here. There is nothing like a nice, fresh, hot apple cider donuts.
And you're literally just dumping them into, once they're warm and coming out, what's this sweet concoction you're putting on them?
This is what makes the donut just scrumptious. Cinnamon sugar. We also make specialty donuts in here as well. Maple donuts, as well as plain donuts with a maple topping and bacon bits. What else do you make, Danae?
Maple bacon,
Okay.
donuts, and the maple cream. And we also make the minis. In years past, we've also done a fudge topped donuts, chocolate donuts.
And so each one of those probably have, because of the maple, because of the apple, they all have their own little sort of added flavor to them, and that's secret, I'm guessing, as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, the apple cider donuts are made with apple cider.
Okay.
The
makes sense.
chocolate donuts, I have to be honest, are made with a chocolate base, and then of course we make the chocolate frosting on top of it. Because we're so known in the industry for our apple cider donuts, it's sometimes hard to compete with ourselves.
Yeah. Great.
And this is Gilroy, our famous baker. Gilroy has been with us for 17 years. So he's part of the family. Go ahead, Tom. What are you making?
This is the most favorite one, the cheddar cheese pie. The hopper one. It's the only place you can get it. It's cheddar cheese. Let me take the hopper. This, the apple already mixed up here. So this is what I did.
So years ago, the way that people would eat their apple pie would be with a accompanying a piece of cheese. And I thought, well, what a great idea is to mix the cheese right with the mixture and then of course bake it off. So we cut up, I know Gilroy cut up what, about a quarter pound to half a pound of Vermont cheddar cheese, and we mix it in our apple mixture, and of course we put our topping on it, and we put it in the oven for 70 minutes.
Now, you're probably no stranger, but let our audience know just, I mean, you're putting in some really fresh, good ingredients, and that's gotta separate you from the market, which is the Vermont cheddar cheese, the fresh apples. And so talk to us a little bit about the quality of the ingredients that you're putting in.
So the apples we choose to use are Northern Spy apples that come either off the farm or they'll come in frozen. And Gilroy will, of course, put in the rest of the sugar, the flour, and the ingredients right out of the bakery. And in a company for a Vermont cheddar cheese apple pie, he will cut it right off of our wheel, and then mix it all together.
Great. This is the topping that one it now. This is topping like this. Let's see it. Let's see like that. And that's what now we use fresh egg.
And the reason why Gilroy uses egg is to give it that shine on the pie. That's a regular apple pie.
It's interesting how just condensed it actually ends up getting, but cooks all the ingredients in it. And
This will end up staying a little higher just because it has cheese in it. It's a little more, and you can just feel the weight of our pies too. I mean, it's amazing.
we've got to feed a whole family with it, of course.
A half a family, depends how many slices you get from the pie.
Get a close up of that one.
Clear up the table now.
And during our season, we offer a pie a la mode. So what will accompany this slice of apple pie with a scoop of vanilla Wilcox Vermont ice cream, which goes over really nice.
And this is your first, but I have a square, you chop it up fine like this. Then you have the cinnamon sugar, a cup. Then you have a cup of the flour.
No calories there at all.
They're all extracted.
Yeah.
Heavy.
And this is the finished goods product.
And what's the name of this again?
It's called an apple square.
Yes, that's easy
That's what
enough.
it's called. We also make a raspberry square, very similar.
But with raspberries.
But with
in it.
raspberries.
Yeah.
And Gilroy does that, and he does add some apple to it. But it is known as the raspberry square. And it is just delicious.
Then you sum them up like this. Right, you don't equal it, so it don't leak out.
He makes it look easy. Yeah. We produce 700 dozen apple cider donuts on a fall foliage weekday.
Wow. Wow. What's your busiest day, and then what's maybe your busiest weekend?
Columbus weekend is the height of the season here. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And of course the beginning is Labor Day weekend.
Cross flavor. Yeah.
Up the mountain.
And this one going for 70 minutes. You close.
The apples, the famous apples that come off of Southern Vermont Orchard. So we purchased Southern Vermont Orchard in 1972. In 1973, the farm market was purchased. The apples, we get about 1,000 to 2,000, depending on the season, 2,000 boxes of apples here at the Apple Barn. And I'd like to take you to show you where it's stored. Here we offer McIntosh, Honeycrisp, Galas, McCown's, Northern Spy, Red Delicious, Golden Delicious, of course the famous Honeycrisp, which I had mentioned, and we're in the Mac country, which is New England. So this is our cold storage, and here we can keep up to 1,000. This is a bushel box, approximately 20 pounds.
And how long do these usually hold up in what looks like almost a bunker of apples?
Here it'll only be 2 months.
Okay.
The beginning of harvest, which is now, and it will go to the end of October, the beginning of November, which we do shut down for the season the end of November. I supply Hannaford with our McIntosh, and very fortunate we supply the public school district here with our apples as well. Have some.
Keeps the doctor away. You have enough apples here to keep the doctor away for many, many years.
Soon, yes I will. The apple cider is made with our apples. Right here we have, of course, pints. It's made on a weekly basis and sold right here at the farm market. We were faced at that time when there was a changeover for pasteurization of the cider, and I chose to convert this room to a sitting cafe. We added 2 public restrooms, and this has become a great area for a lot of buses that we entertain with Pie a la Mode. We do a step-on bus tour out of here.
And of course, we have to give a shout out. These were made locally as well.
Correct.
And who made these?
Lee Burdick.
Okay.
And designed by Mike Baker, who is a local architect.
Right. So again, a lot of locals coming together to make this all work.
Yes. Here. Unfortunately, this is what you call a damage, what I refer to as a damaged apple. This is hail that came upon us at the beginning of June. So we sell the whole crop to cider.
So in terms of pesticides or lack of pesticides, what do you actually have to put on these trees to keep them?
Well, we practice what they call IPM, which is integrated pest management. We'll spray only on demand, and that means upon an infection, then we'll put the right formula, the recipe together to spray. Unfortunately, when there's a lot of rain, brings a lot of insects, so we also have insecticide. There's 8 of us who are pesticide certified to apply. These are my guys. They all come from Jamaica, and they're on an H-2A agricultural program. The maximum amount of stay that they can stay here is 10 months. Some of the guys they come through for the harvest program, which is 2 months. So the proper way to pick an apple is 2 fingers, you turn, you twist, and you bend. So you come off with what we refer to as the nipple of the apple.
Cool.
Delicious.
And what kind is that?
McIntosh. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, this is a cider crop, but you'll say to me, Leah, well, I don't see any cider damage here. Unfortunately, when it has 40% damage, it all goes to cider.
So everybody, that's how it's made right here at the Apple Barn in Bennington. Thank you so much to Leah and the team here for putting these great products out every single year. Make sure you stop by the Apple Barn and get some apples, some cider donuts, and enjoy yourself. So good.